एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल कोड विद अल्पना। तो आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे वेरिएबल्स इन जावास्क्रिप्ट। नॉट जस्ट अ बेसिक्स बट हम डीपली समझेंगे लेट वेयर कॉन्स्ट और होस्टिंग के बारे में। अगर आप इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो या आप बिगनर हो, आपको नहीं समझ आ रहा कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है, सो दिस सीरीज इज परफेक्ट फॉर यू। तो आज हमारे साथ है गौरव। सो हेलो गौरव। तो आप हमें बताएं व्हाट इज वेरिएबल्स इन जावास्क्रिप्ट फर्स्ट। ओवर टू यू।
Uh, Thank you. Variable is when we need to define some storage, like a space, and first we need to understand how the storage is working. If we are in our RAM or in our disk, we have storage. For storing any property or any value or any number, we need to define some space to that. Like number is going to take a byte of the 2 bytes, and string also going to take some bytes. So for accessing that, we are giving a name. Okay, that is called a variable. So in a simple word, we can say like anything which we want to store in our system, that is called a variable. In a JavaScript, we are having a three types of variable. Three types of we can declare the variable like a let, var, and const. Okay, so
Okay, okay.
we are going to discuss about that in depth, step by step. What is var, what is let, what is const, and where which one we can use, and why we can use that. All things we are going to discuss in a deep.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
take example if you are having anything like a var, okay, and name I'm giving. So this is called a variable. Name is a variable, and this variable assigned some space in a memory. On that space, this is a value we are going to assign. So
Hmm.
this is called a variable. So this is the first type of variable we can declare. Second, we can declare a variable like let keyword we can use. These all are called a reserve keyword in a JavaScript. Okay, like this is a reserve keyword. Age is like a keyword you used and storing on that value 30. That is age. Take example. Third type, how we are creating const. Const is a constant number which is you not going to modify in the future. So this is these three types of variable declaration we are having in a JavaScript mostly. And one more type we are having, which is called don't use any keywords which is provided by a JavaScript. Like take example, simple I can say like data. This is also called some variable only. But how they are using their scopes, how you can access that, that is work in a different manner. So we can going to discuss in later point. So this is a
Hmm.
variable. Variable is a name where we can store our data or property.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Gaurav. So next question, जो mostly interviews में पूछा जाता है, like what is the difference between let, where and const? Maybe in this question we can discuss about scoping also, like how they are using scoping, this let, where and const. So okay.
Take example in a within a function we declare these three, and this is called a global scope. If we are not using any predefined keyword which is provided by a JavaScript, then that is called a global scope. This is going directly bind to the your window browser. If you are running with a node, then that is going to bind with the your node global. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is called a global scope of that. This is like a where is it for a functional scope. Like if you are defining any function, take example function. So this where if you are declaring inside this function,
Hmm.
then this name you can able to access within a function, not outside a function. So that is called a functional scope. Okay. And let and where were recently introduced in a JavaScript in a ES6, which these both are block scope. What is called a block? First, we need to understand anything which is having a brackets like this bracket. This is called a block of code. Okay, like function is this is also a block of code. So if you are using this block, then that things are you can say block of scope. Take example, if I am having these two inside this block, okay. So you can't access outside of this block, this both the function. So this is due to that is called a block of scope. And what is the difference between the let and const? Let you can you can modify the let after declaring or defining that value. But const is a constant. By name only that is suggesting a constant. Once you assign a value on that, you can't modify that value. But there is a one catch. Always in an interview, they are going to ask like if you are declaring anything like a non-primitive data, like primitive and non-primitive data, like primitive data like a string, number, boolean. These all are primitive data, and array or object non-primitive data. So if
Hmm.
they are declaring anything on a that non-primitive data, and they are trying to put some value on that, so that will be not going to give an error to you. So they are going to ask why. So you need to simply answer them कि we are not reassigning that value on a constant. We are not modifying the value of a constant. We are playing inside that d- uh, uh, block. Like this is a block, array block, correct? You are pushing a value inside the array. You are not reassigning that value on a like this variable. Due to that, able to manipulate that data in an array
Hmm.
on an object on a constant also.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, simple rule, like we need to use constant by default. If a value is going to change, then let, and we need to avoid where if it is not required. We just need to avoid it. Okay. So, Gaurav, अब आते हैं इंटरव्यू का फेवरेट टॉपिक which is like hoisting. So ये क्या होता है?
Hoisting is a concept when you are like writing any code. Okay, take example. I'm writing this line of code in anywhere. Okay, in this line or anywhere. So what happens? JavaScript run in a two phases. One is like we are not saying like compilation phase, but interpretation phase, where they are going to declare all the things like these data, this name, data, and these all things are going to pull on a top. Okay, they're going to give a name like take example, we are having a data variable. They're going to give name, and after that they are assigning a value undefined by default. Okay, this is a interpretation phase. Okay, everything in
Okay.
a hosting phase, they are going to pull all the names of your variable what you are defining on the top of the scope, and they're going to assign a by default value on that variable undefined. If you are having a function, okay, so they're going to pull all whole function on top. Okay, they are like a function we are defining in a multiple ways. If you are function defining as a like assigning on a variable, then variable going to assign on top like undefined. You getting my point?
Yeah.
So
So
all
it's
like
like कि if you want to access the variable, like, like let's suppose, for example, console.log x, and we are like just assigning the value like x equal to 10 or any name or anything, it will not going to throw any error, but it will, the output will be the undefined. So,
take I'm using a name here and consoling before that name before declaring that. See what happened here. See here, this is a undefined coming because hoisting is happening with that declare variable. But in a late and const, hoisting not work as a where how we are having, because they are going in a different scope because they are in a block scope declaration. So what happened? They are going in a temporary dead zone. So if you are trying to access these let or const before declaration, take
so
example
Gaurav,
here I am
can
trying
you
to.
show the example like, yes, just try to access the age before declaration. Let's see.
So what happened? This is going to give a reference error because we are trying to accessing this before declaring that. See, this is going to give us a reference error. See, you can't access the age before initialization because we are initializing this, but hoisting happening in a different scope. This is going in a temporary dead zone. That temporary dead zone works for only for the block scopes. Like let and const, if you are using, then that temporary dead zone will be work there.
ओके 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 सो ओ ठीक है, तो आज फिर टेम्पोरल डेड जोन समझ आ गया. इफ समबडी इज आस्किंग, लाइक बहुत ही फेमस क्वेश्चन है, like they are just going to wanted to print that let, right, without initialization. डिक्लेरेशन इज देयर बट इनिशियलाइजेशन नहीं होता, तो उसके बीच का जो टाइम होता है वही टेम्पोरल डेड जोन होता है, राइट?
Yes.
ओके.
So I can show you in a browser their stack. So for example, if I'm going, because in a editor you can't check that. If you are running in a browser console, then only you can able to check that temporal dead zone, how that stack is working. Okay. Okay. Give me a moment. I can show you. Hang over system. See, we got here, and we need to see all the is variable declare, how that all are declare here. Okay. So we can see here. Give me a moment. Stack thread debugger pause. See here. See all the pi and age going in a script. This is called a temporal dead zone. Like in a within a scope, they are like a declaring. That is not going in a global. Due to that, you can't access before that. This space is called a temporal dead zone. You can able to see in this area where my cursor is there. Are you
yes,
able
yes.
to see?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened?
So
They hosting is happening. See, they are no value on there, and but they have that variable is declare. But you can't access because that is their scope is different location. That is not attaching into the window. If see other things you if you are having, that is going to attach in a global. You can see here, like I defined other things. You can see here in this.
so
For
can
example,
you
what we
increase
are.
the size, like it is not
Okay,
visible, just bit increase.
okay. Give me a moment. Now
Now
you can
now
able to
now it's
see.
visible. Yes,
See,
yes.
see, data is attaching to the global, correct? But
Hmm.
other let and const things are going in a separate scope. Anything which is attached to the global, you can able to access before they are assigned. But if anything going on a different scope, you can't access. So that this scope is called a temporal dead zone.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, this is temporal dead zone. Okay. तो थैंक यू गौरव. तो गाइस आज हमने कवर किया वेरिएबल्स, where वर्सेस let वर्सेस const, होइस्टिंग एंड टेम्पोरल डेड जोन. अगर आप इंटरव्यू की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं तो ये टॉपिक मस्ट है आपको प्रिपेयर करने के लिए. अगर आपको ये एपिसोड हेल्पफुल लगा हो तो लाइक करें, शेयर करें एंड सब्सक्राइब करें. तो बस नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में हम बात करेंगे ES6 फीचर्स के बारे में एंड दिस मे बी लाइक दिस कीवर्ड के बारे में इन डिटेल. सो तब तक के लिए कीप लर्निंग, कीप बिल्डिंग. थैंक यू.
See,
हैप्पी
group.
लर्निंग.